I'm so tired of going. I done did almost 18 years in prison. I'm 40 years old now, you know.
Half your
Sometimes
life.
you got to know when to stop, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't want to be around you. You got people out here looking for you, chasing you around, you chasing them around, shooting, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That stuff is old.
Yeah.
We don't need to be doing that no more. Get a job and take care of your family, you know? So basically, when I got out, I just said, forget it, man. I'm done with that life. I'm not going to never do that again.
Okay.
I'm not going back to prison for drugs. And
you haven't.
Yeah, I haven't, and don't want my son to see no drugs, you know.
Hey, Freedom family. Welcome to the Unlock Your Freedom podcast. My name is Kira Miller. I am the founder and host of this series. Every other week, we'll bring you some of the most life-giving conversations that will empower you to overcome your shame, own your truth, and unlock your freedom. Thank you for joining this conversation today. Now let your freedom journey begin. Welcome back to the Unlock Your Freedom podcast. My name is Kira. I am the founder and host of this series. And today's guest, we had Domashaun Davis, who I actually met. He was my Lyft driver. And I got in the car with him, and just from the get-go, he started just telling me his entire life story. And I felt really compelled to tell it. He used to be like in the street life and like sold drugs and all that kind of stuff. So the part that really connected with me and with my own story is he kept doing the same thing that kept getting him in trouble all the time. And he would do it, get in trouble, and then go right back to it. And if you watch my story, that's actually exactly what happened with me for 10 years. I just kept doing something. I would get caught, and then I would keep doing it. And then finally there was a moment where I realized that I didn't want to live that life anymore, and that I was so tired of being sick all the time and having this life where I wasn't myself. And Domashaun talked about the same thing. He talked about how he was just tired of the street life, and he didn't want this same life for his son that he ended up having. I'm really excited for you to hear it. So who would you say Domashaun was, like, kind of in the beginning of your life? Like, maybe take me through, like, your childhood and what that looked like for you.
Okay. Well, when I was young, I was, how can I say it? I was very bad. You know, I grew up in an unstable home, basically. So I was back and forth from one house to the other, and from then when I got a little bit older, was in Shelbyville, Tennessee, back and forth. So I've been to several different schools, a lot of schools, be honest with you. And basically, I just was bad, you know. So I grew up as seeing what was around me, you know what I'm saying? So the streets was bad over here. And basically I was a product of my environment. Yeah. So
did you have a really hard time, like, trusting people from a young age?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to, like, move around so much and from home to home and stuff. Yeah.
But I wasn't stable. So basically, if you're not stable and you going from school to school to school, meeting different people, then of course I'm going to be unruly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then I started my journey on watching other people sell drugs. And so I'm watching people sell drugs, and I'm like, man, they got the fancy cars and all this and that. Now here I am, I'm about 8, 9 years old, and I'm liking this.
Yeah.
So
Did you know how people got those nice cars and stuff? Like, did you know that they were selling drugs?
well, at the time, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was just a nice car.
Yeah.
So you're like, heck yeah, I want a nice
Yeah.
car. Yeah. Dang.
And then turn around, my daddy, he was selling drugs, but I didn't know he was selling drugs at the time. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Because he tried to keep it away from us. And as I got a little bit older, you know, I'm like, dang, I caught on. And so now I want to sell drugs.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what I started doing, selling drugs. And
What age?
I started selling at the age of, I want to say 14 years old.
Okay.
14 years old.
Pretty quick after.
Yeah. But I was in juvenile from off and on from 11 years old to 14 before I started. And it was just, it was hard. So,
So like when you were, I guess, on the streets and stuff, selling drugs, what did that look like? You don't have to go too much into details, but like, I don't know, was it scary even? Because you're young and it's dangerous, I'm sure.
well, the streets was bad over here, and I was bad. So, yeah, it was kind of scary, but, you end up adapting to it because that's all you know.
Yes.
And so as I'm going along, when I started selling at the age of 14, it was a family member's boyfriend. Her boyfriend taught me how to sell, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going along, and I'm liking it. I'm selling in school, everything.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I get busted right across the street from my house. And so I get in trouble, I get locked up and everything. And then when I get out, I start right back, you know what I'm saying? But I'm in juvenile, so I get right back out and start back selling again.
Yeah.
But I was trying to hide it from my family. But they knew something was going on because I was bringing in, buying a lot of jewelry and everything at a young age. So next thing you know, I get locked up again. This is from basically being unruly and all this. I get out at the age of 18. Oh, that's when it really started. So,
Really?
Yeah. I got out. I tried to do right for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And I got in the dope game tough then. So I done bought me a Caprice and hooked it up. Started selling drugs from here to Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Where's that exactly?
Shelbyville is like an hour away from here on the other side of Murfreesboro.
Okay.
And
So you traveled pretty far.
yeah, see, that's where my mom's, she lived up there.
Okay.
She's from down here, but she got married and moved up there.
Okay.
And got up there, I was selling and all kinds of stuff. Once you start selling drugs, you got haters, this and that. So yeah, and shootouts and fights, but it was scary.
But it was
me,
what
I
you
liked
knew.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's what you knew. Do you ever remember like anyone in your maybe family or your peers or anything like ever tell you, hey, you can't do this, or like, hey, this isn't good for you? Or was everyone actually telling you like, hey, this is the life that you need to be in?
Well, my family and them, they didn't like me doing it,
Because
I
you
ain't
said
hide
you were
it from 'em.
hiding it from them.
Yeah. But they all definitely knew at the age of 18, man, I'm selling drugs. I wasn't hiding from nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out there. So my family, my whole entire family tried to get me to stop selling drugs.
Okay.
But I wasn't listening. I didn't care at all, My dad, once I got busted, it was something that I told him. I can't exactly remember what it was, but he stopped selling. It made him put his stuff down right then and there and stop.
Really?
Yep.
Like you selling made him do that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was something that I said to him, and he stopped right then and there. Yep. I think he said he cried and everything. So
Dang.
yeah.
Okay.
But
But you continued on with it for a while. Yep.
oh, I stayed doing it until I was 27 years old. I was back and forth in jail and prison. Been to prison 3 times, and just the street life was tough,
Yeah.
But I loved it. So I'm out there and we driving around, me and my homeboys, and we in the streets, and whatever comes, comes. Like if if another crew wants to mess with us, we're gonna mess right back. You know what I'm saying? So.
So you protected yourselves, essentially. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you feel like your community of friends and stuff that you were running around with, like, would you say you were all out to protect each other too?
Oh yeah. If we together, we protect each other.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. A lot of people that I ran with, they wasn't just scared or nothing like that, because they gonna get down too. But there's been times where I done been in shootouts, and over this drug gang.
Mm-hmm.
Done been in more stuff than that, harsh stuff, get busted with a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to jail,
Yep.
then don't nobody, they all forget about you.
Yes.
My family didn't forget about me.
Yep.
But your homeboys and them forget about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You ain't got the money out there, so it's like
don't
you ain't
matter.
nobody now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then when you get right back out and get to selling, then they back all around you.
Yeah.
So
And then you moved to Indianapolis. Was that so?
well,
Okay.
Indianapolis, I went down there after I got out of juvenile, Woodland Hills down here.
Okay. So how old were you then?
18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And so you said why did you move there though? I think you were telling me.
Basically,
before.
I moved down there because family by marriage, they said that we could start a better life down there.
Yes.
In the construction, remodeling houses and stuff like that. So, okay, it was me. I moved down there, and two of my friends moved down there too.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as we stand down there, we get to working. The first couple of checks was all right.
Yeah.
And then, next thing you know, we bringing home sometimes $20, $27, $100. I mean,
Like a week?
You can't live
Gosh.
off of that.
Yeah. No.
So of
definitely
course
not.
we're gonna get in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in the streets. But
So you were kind of planning to start a better life when you got to Indianapolis, but because the payment wasn't great and
Yep.
they kind of were betraying you, you ended up restarting it again there. Yeah.
They promised us that we'll be able to get us a truck, a brand new truck, and we'll make a lot of money. Well, the whole time that was just a lie.
Yeah.
We work all day. We come home, like somebody lose a hammer, they want to charge us $20 a piece for a hammer.
Dang.
And sometimes they just lied,
Yeah.
And but turned around, I ended up getting in trouble up there. Basically, we went to a party,
Okay.
and these guys kept messing with us when we was leaving. Now we was trying not to get in no trouble,
Yeah.
and as we driving along, they just kept following us. So the driver pulled over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once he pulled over, we all jumped out. So they jumped out. And I guess them guys was on some kind of harsh drugs or whatever. So next thing you know, we asked them what their problem was. And everything just erupted. We got into a fight. And
Yep.
it was it was three of us. And I think it was three of them.
Okay.
No, it was two of them. I'm sorry. So we get to fight. Now, these dudes, they are strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We strong. So.
Yeah.
But they was on something. So it's like they wasn't feeling nothing.
Yeah.
But to make a long story short, I ended up picking up a cement brick and cracked one of them over the head, Blood went everywhere. And he fell down, and we took off after that. Well, I turned around, I ended up getting in trouble. Down the street, the police pulled us over. Somebody seen us and called the police. So they pulled us over, and I went to jail. Basically, when we went to jail, all of us had to charge. But I took all the charges.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I took
really
all the charges. I'm the one who cracked dude over the head.
Yeah.
Ain't no sense in them getting in trouble.
Right.
You
But
know what I'm
hey,
saying?
that's awesome that you took responsibility. Yeah.
Basically, the way we feel, we was trying to defend ourselves. But somebody just kept messing with us.
Yeah.
But I took charges. Basically, I did 6 months in Indianapolis, Indiana jail.
Okay.
And trust me, that jail is rough up there. They
Yeah.
put me in a gang pod, this and that. And
It's probably could be worse in the streets, right? Because you're locked up together and you don't really have anyone to protect you.
yeah, that gang, I mean, that pod up there
Yeah.
that I was in, it was bad.
Really?
They did stuff that you
Yeah.
wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
But I ended up getting out, and so I immediately moved back to Nashville.
Okay.
And Shelbyville, basically,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back and forth. And try to do right, but back around the same
Yeah.
people. So I started back selling drugs again. And
And so you're 19 at that point. Okay. Cool.
19 years old. And ended up getting in trouble again.
Yeah.
Was driving my car, got busted. The police was watching me. the state trooper was watching me with binoculars.
Okay.
And basically, this was on my street, East Cedar Street, that I used to live on. I was selling to somebody on my street.
Yeah.
And as I pulled off, got my car beaten. It's a nice car. And about 20 police and 2 state troopers followed me. So I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah.
So I didn't care. I just kept driving. I just kept driving. I said, oh, well, might as well keep driving. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to prison. So I turned the music up and kept, kept going.
Yeah.
So they had all the streets blocked off, all the way to the square, downtown Chevyville. And
just to get you. Wow.
And as soon as we got by the jail, so I couldn't go nowhere else. They blocked me in by the railroad tracks.
Dang.
And next thing you know, they ran up to my car screaming, "Get out the car, get out the car," this and that. So I'm like, dang, there's so many police with they guns drawn on me.
Yeah.
They yanked me out the window, yanked me out.
Dang.
And slammed me on the ground and found some drugs and some money. So at this time, I wasn't even selling a lot of drugs, but I was selling, you know what I'm saying? I had enough.
Yeah.
But went away for a good period of time.
Were you ever gone for like more than a year?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Just that time, I went away for like 3.5 years,
Dang,
4 years. Got back out. I'm on parole.
Okay. What exactly does that look like? Because I'm not super familiar what that means.
As far as parole?
Yeah.
Basically, it's supervised release.
Okay.
And
you have
the
to meet with
state-
your parole officer. Okay. Yeah.
And on parole, you got to pay like $40, $45 a month.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a fee that they charge. But turn around, they can call you in for a piss test anytime.
Interesting.
And yeah, so basically they watching everything you do.
Yeah.
So I end up getting out, and I'm working. Wasn't enough money for me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get back in the street. So I got back in the streets, and bam, I was doing it.
Was that like kind of the hardest that you were ever doing it too at that point? Okay.
No.
So you have been doing it worse at a different time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We finna get into basically.
Okay. So there's more.
Yeah. All right. So now that I'm I'm back out. We are going. Well, not we. Me. I'm how can I say it? I got more drugs now than I had since the last time before I went, got locked up. So I'm driving, going to pick up work. I got different kinds of cars. I had like like 8, 9 cars.
Wow.
Yeah, a couple of them hooked up with big rims and everything.
Dang.
But a lot of times I drove different cars to switch up when I'm going to sell drugs.
Yep.
And sometimes I get rental cars too.
Just so you aren't visible, like people
Yeah.
don't know who you are.
But you think the police ain't watching you.
Yeah.
They watching
Watching your every move.
you. Yeah, they watching you. And next thing you know, driving, I can't remember what it was. Selling a lot. People trying to rob you. You got to get out and do stuff to people.
Yeah.
And I really did some stuff that I ain't trying to say, but
Yeah.
did some stuff.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to.
Yeah. And I ended up getting locked up again.
Yeah.
This time I get locked up and I went back on a violation.
Okay.
Violation, that's all that was. So did a violation for a couple of years, got out. I immediately moved in with my girlfriend
Okay.
and started back selling dope right then and there.
Okay.
So I paid somebody, to say that I worked for them. Every week I paid somebody $100 just to say I worked for them.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm on parole, and it's all good, and now this time I had so much stuff. I had all the nice cars, plenty of girls,
Yeah.
So
Living the life, really.
Yeah.
Right?
got busted with a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it ain't the life for nobody, trust me. It ain't the life. But I wanted to stand out, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I wanted all the finer things.
Yes.
Hook my house up nice, and get back out there in the streets. And
Ooh, I like that you said that. So you said I wanted the finer things. Would you say that that was kind of who you were, like even from the beginning of your life? Like you just valued like nice and shiny things, and
Yes.
like that's what you wanted?
Had
Yeah. Because I would think that you're changing now. Yeah.
had a lot of nice cars. And trust me, everybody knew I had nice cars and a lot of jewelry, nice clothes,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, when
You
you
felt
make
like
a lot
a big
of money,
shot.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So it'd be some days you make a few $1,000s, you know, like $2,000-$3,000, and then first and third
day?
coming around, you making $8,000-$9,000 a day, you know.
Dang.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but I've always back then I always carried $8,000-$9,000 on me, $10,000, five. It all depends.
Yeah.
Because I might see something I want.
Yeah.
I gotta have it.
Interesting.
So
yeah.
if I see a car I want and I don't have the money on me, trust me, I'm going back to get it.
Yep.
I got it.
Yeah.
You know. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay, so we met. Well, this was like very recent that we met, but you were my Lyft driver, Uber driver. I don't remember which one
I
specifically.
don't know which one. I know it was
but
one.
it was one of them. And like the reason why I felt so compelled to tell your story was you really talked about the turnaround. Like so, you had a son, right? Mm-hmm. So how old is he, and how long ago was this?
Well, my son was when we met. My son was 12. He's 13 now.
Okay.
And basically, he stays with his mom's.
Okay.
But he comes with me too. You know, I usually get him on the weekends, but some weekends I don't.
Okay.
And he's, you know, I don't want him to be in the same life as I was in.
Yes.
So he's, how can I say, he's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's bad, but he'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
I do believe. So I get him, you know, take care of him to my best of my ability anyways. And
There's only so much you can do as a parent.
so I just don't want to see him grow up like me, you know, and then I want him to get an education. You know,
Yes.
matter of fact, I just got my high school diploma 2 weeks ago.
Heck yeah, dude, that's awesome. Hey, you finished. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll get his while he's still in school and not have to get it later on in life.
Yeah.
You know. But
So when did you start really turning your life around then? Was it like when you had him, so 12, 13 years ago, or was it more
he
recent?
was 7.5 months when I went to prison.
Okay.
This last time I went to federal prison.
Okay.
I got busted with a lot, and I got set up by an informant. And so I went in. He was 7.5 months, and he was 10 when I got out.
Okay.
He's 13 now. Wow. So
a couple years ago is really when you started turning your life around.
yeah. Well, I turned my life around as soon as I got out.
Yeah.
I didn't go back to selling drugs.
Yeah.
I drank one time and got a little crazy because that was my brothers and them celebrate me getting out. And haven't drank since then.
Yeah.
Don't smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Don't do no kind of drugs. All I do is work.
Yeah.
Work. Even though sometimes I don't make enough money, but then some days it be good, you know.
Yeah.
So
when let's talk about when you got out. Then you said 3 years ago?
almost 4.
4. Okay. So when you got out then, what was really that like, maybe that voice in your head that was just like, okay, you got to leave this all behind. Like talk about why was it then that you finally were like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm done with it. Because that actually, similar to my story, I didn't go to jail, but like I had an addiction essentially for like 10 years. And I don't know why it took 10 years for me to finally drop the addiction, but like I finally stopped after 10 years. I was so sick of being tired and so sick of being sick and not myself all the time that I was just like, I have to get rid of this. Like I want to start loving myself and loving the people around me. So what did that look like for you? Like, why did you decide at that point that you were done?
Well, when I got out, basically I went to prison 3 times.
Okay.
And I'm so tired of going. I done did almost 18 years in prison. I'm 40 years old now, you know.
Half your
Sometimes you got to know when to stop, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't want to be around you. You got people out here looking for you, chasing you around, you chasing them around, shooting, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That stuff is old.
Yeah.
We don't need to be doing that no more. Get a job and take care of your family.
Yeah.
You know. So basically when I got out, I just said, forget it, man. I'm done with that life.
Yes.
I'm not going to never do that again.
Okay.
I'm not going back to prison for drugs. And
And you haven't.
Yeah, and I haven't, and don't want my son to see no drugs, But, he probably has seen it, but I don't know.
Yes.
But not around me, because I don't let nobody around me that's got the drugs.
Because at least at the end of the day, like, even if he has outside influences, which we all do, our parents aren't our only influences, like, at least he can come home at the end of the day and be like, my dad does not do this. That's really admirable.
Yeah, he likes to play his games all the time, so he
like
don't,
video games or like games? Okay.
No, video games, Fortnite and stuff. So
yes. Yep.
And so I got him a PlayStation 4 over at my house, and he's got one over his mama's house that I just bought him.
Yeah.
So he loves that, but I'd rather for him to play the games than be in the streets.
Yes. Yep.
Because
absolutely.
nowadays, these little young kids, they out here killing left and right. I'm talking about they start at the age 12, they killing people left and right.
Yeah.
So I don't want him in the streets.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be back in the streets.
Right.
I will struggle like crazy before I go back to them streets.
So cool. Yeah.
So, and I'm struggling, but I had my own mobile detailing business for about a year, and I sold it, just recently.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm gonna start up something else soon, something that's all year round.
Yeah.
And
you drive
oh
for
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably more than 40 hours.
No, actually, I only do 32 hours a week.
Okay, because I was gonna say every time I like text you or call you, it's like I'm driving.
Yeah, I do 32 hours a week,
Yeah.
and but I break it down. So a lot of times when you text me or call me, I'm out, because in the morning times I go out probably about 3 hours.
Okay.
And then afternoon I go out about 3 hours. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sundays I'm out all the time.
Okay.
So
Can you work as much as you want? Like, can you do over 40 hours or no? Are
well,
you not allowed?
you can do over 40 hours. You can do as many hours you want, but you can only do in a 12-hour and then you got to be off 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
so
want
it's
to
kind
make
of
sure you
strict
get
rules.
your sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So you're doing that, and then you just sold your mobile detailing business, and you said you are going to try to start a carpet cleaning business.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that's what I really want to do.
Yeah.
Something that's all year round. And hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. So you like working with your hands?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So, okay. Now, like, in your life, who would you say, well, actually, I remember you talking to me about how, like, God was actually sort of a focal point in your life for, like, really changing. What did that look like for you? Like, did you go to church before and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, my family and them, basically, all of them go to church.
Okay.
And my mom, she's in the church real heavy, and she talks to me all the time about it.
Yeah.
And my auntie, she's in it real heavy, you know. And so I was always grown. I grew up in church.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I was bad, you know.
And it never was real to you.
Yeah. That's right. So, and but now, even though I don't go to church like I should, I go every now and then. But God, He's number one. So
That's awesome.
you gotta listen to Him. And I'm finna get back into church.
Yeah.
Real tough, you know. But right now, I just, you know.
Absolutely.
Long as I'm doing right, you know, and abiding by His rules,
Yes.
I'm good. But I still pray.
Yeah.
And I don't open my Bible like I should, but I'm finna start opening it even more.
But you're still connecting with Him through prayer. Yeah.
I pray every night, every morning.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And sometimes through the day.
Yeah.
So that's what my mom, she tells me all the time. So I don't know if she thinks I do, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because, like, I didn't grow up a Christian. I've only been a Christian for probably like 5 years, 7 years of my life, something like that. And I've always been the type of person, I'm very structured. If you can't tell by, I need to know the chronological order of your entire life. So I am the type of person who, like, I feel like I have to be in a certain place to pray, and I feel like I have to spend a certain amount of time in prayer, and that I have to, like, do it at night and in the morning. But I like how you said you were praying throughout the day now too, because I'm trying to learn how prayer is not just something that you have to, like, go into a quiet room and do. Like, like ask God into every single aspect of your life throughout the day. It doesn't matter what it is. Like if it's this conversation, if it's while you're going to drive somebody, like you can be praying about every single second of your day.
And you don't have to pray out loud. You just pray in your head.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It can be a quick thought, and you're just like, you just take it to God. You're like, hey, I want to have a good conversation in this car today, God. And you just like think about that.
That's right.
That's awesome. So who would you say has been, though, like maybe the really big support network for you through all of this, and who's like really kept you going, like maybe when you feel tempted to go back into that life? Because for me, like I have felt somewhat tempted at times to like go back to the life that I was living because it was comfortable and it was easy. And who would you say is keeping you out of doing that? Like it's yourself for sure, but who are those like people in your life that are helping you to do that?
Well,
your son, obviously.
Yeah. And another thing, my auntie, she's big. She's been in my life real tough. You know what I'm saying? And she don't want me back in the streets. My mama, she's been there 100% tough, you know. Always. They know I'm not in the streets no more. And I can come around the family. You know, back then it was hard coming around the family because you don't know who's following me or what, because I was out there doing bad things, you know, stuff that we ain't even talked about, you know. So they are in my life tough. I talk to my mama almost every day.
That's awesome.
I talk to my auntie about 20 times a day. I don't know how we talk that much. But yeah.
She keeps you in line.
Yeah. So talk to her all the time. My dad, he's in my life, and of course, you know how parents are. Your dad is just strict. He gonna talk crazy to you if so. But he loves me to death. So you know he helps me out a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing that a lot of our like listeners on this podcast, like they seek connection and community, and I just can't stress enough the power of accountability when we feel lonely or we feel like life's getting too hard and we need to like go and do something that we shouldn't do. The power of like taking that to someone else and saying like, hey, I'm struggling with this right now and I need your help to like keep me in line, essentially. And it sounds like that's what you do. Yeah. That's awesome.
So I love it out here in the street. You know, doing the right thing. I got 2 people that's been there since day one, that's awesome. That was, there since I was in the drug game, and now that I just talk to and kick it with every now and then. And they don't want me back in there.
That's so
even
cool.
though one of them still do his thing.
Really? He still doesn't want you in it, though.
Yeah, he don't want me in it. And then my other one, I call him like my cousin, you know what I'm saying? And he says, boy, what you doing? You ain't out there selling this and that. No, I'm not out there selling. You're talking about, okay, yeah, let me find out.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about it. Everybody know I ain't. He knows I ain't.
Yeah.
But they the only 2 that I basically kick it with, you know? And don't nobody bring no drugs around me. And that's the way I want it, you know? Because I ain't trying to go back. I ain't trying to go back, man.
Only move forward.
In prison, stuff happens. Guards is crooked, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. A lot of them is real crooked. They kind of seen stuff, you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
How would you say, like, maybe what do you do personally when you feel like you, like, not even that you're going to go back into that, but maybe you feel like you're having an off day and you're struggling and maybe you're struggling to make ends meet. Like, what do you do in your life to like keep yourself in check?
Well, when I'm struggling, I just, like some days I just go in the house, and then I'll be like, man, I got to get me another job.
Yeah.
So, but if I really do need money, my auntie and my dad, they'll give me whatever I want pretty much. But I got to pay it back now. Don't get me wrong. I got to pay it back.
No handouts.
So I borrow money.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just, I can't really say, I'm pretty good, I'm pretty good right now.
That's awesome.
So when the summertime hit, I'll be even better.
Yeah. More money. Heck yeah.
So hopefully I'll be able to spend more time with my son and get him a lot more stuff. And I just need to put him in some kind of program because I really don't want to see him, in the streets, which I know he ain't gonna be in the streets, but but I can't say this about.
Yeah. So, okay. Who would you say you are like now? Who would you say Domashaun is now? Like kind of in the middle of this like freedom, really, because it sounds like you don't really value shiny, nice things anymore. Like you value hard work and like what's hard, honestly.
Well, I work all the time, and even though if I'm not doing that, I'm doing other stuff like taking care of my grandmother. She got dementia real bad, and she's got a boarding home, and I help take care of them too.
Okay.
And me, I'm the type of person now that I love everybody. Back then, I didn't give a, I didn't care.
Yeah.
And now I love everybody. Everybody loves me, and you ask me for it. If I got it, I give it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I try to help you out.
Yeah. So you care about people now. Yeah.
And I'm not going to run over you. I just don't want you to run over me.
Yes.
Because I still got that streak where I can, get a little crazy, and I have since I've been out. But, I got to stop that. I mean, but I'm working. I just had a temper, you know what I'm saying? But I'm working on it.
Yes.
So it's a work in progress.
Hey, at least you're expressing your anger.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not in the best way, but you are expressing it rather than like repressing it and just like letting it push way down because then you could like blow up even more at some point. So it's good that you know that and that you're like allowing yourself to express it, even if sometimes it's not in the most healthy
Then
way.
I can't really do too much anyways, which I ain't because I'm still on 10 years federal papers,
Okay.
And I've been doing good. They want to get me off early,
Okay. Yeah.
So it's hard when you're on federal papers. It's hard to get off early,
Yeah. What does that mean exactly?
All right. Well, when I told you earlier that I was on state probation, state and feds is two different prisons.
Okay.
State prison basically is here in Tennessee. Federal, they fly y'all around. Prison's different.
Okay.
The environment is totally different.
A lot harder,
Oh yeah.
more intense.
Yeah. People say, "Oh, you going to federal prison? You gonna have it made state this and that." What state? What state, man? I ain't had no state.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
You see more killings in there than you do in state prison.
Yeah.
So. It's not a life I want to go back to.
Yes.
A lot of people kept telling me I was institutionalized because I'm back and forth, in and out, I'm not institutionalized. I just kept getting caught,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
But I went, did my time, and got out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's amazing that you like did the time, and now especially you're like, well, now you're like probably going to get off early because you're like doing the right things to do that. So, do you have any like plans to maybe help people who have gone through the same thing in life too? Like obviously with your son, I mean, you said he's not really in the streets, but like, do you have any plans maybe in your life to like go back to, I don't know, a community where kids are really involved in the streets and like help them in some way?
I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, if somebody might ask me or something, or I might, go down and help, talk to them.
Yeah.
This ain't the life that you want to start out with and don't want to do it, period, to be honest with you. Because it can lead, it ain't nothing but either one or two things, jail or hell. And you pick which one. Most likely the street's going to pick it for you.
Yes.
So.
Well, and you're like, your family was telling you that you should write a book, right?
Yeah.
You actually considering
it? It ain't just my family. It's a few more people. I'm thinking about it. But if I write a book, then I really going to tell everything. So.
Yeah.
And
you should.
I'm just hoping I don't get in no trouble for it. I mean, there's some things,
I know, right. You never know. Well, that was my biggest fear with like telling my story on the podcast, because I did things to people that you could probably go to jail for it. I wouldn't say prison, but like I basically pretended like I was someone else and like tarnished that person's name really badly, and essentially stole their identity. So it's something where you could like go probably to prison for. So that's like I don't know about prison, but jail. And it's
Well,
like
that's called a white collar crime or
know,
something.
right?
So you know,
it is. Yeah. Didn't go and beat nobody or anybody. Or
you
anything
probably
like
wouldn't
that.
do too much time.
Probably not.
1 to 3 years probation.
Dang, 1 to
That's
3
it.
years. That's a long
Yeah.
time.
For you.
For me.
Yeah. Try 18
Oh,
years.
yeah,
so, you
seriously.
Know. Yeah.
Dang. But like, I mean, that was my biggest fear with like telling my story on the podcast. Cause like that is 3, 4, 5 years, 3 to 5 years behind me.
Okay.
So like at this point I'm totally over it and it's like not part of my life anymore. But you never know. People could like try and get you now because they see that you're like having freedom with it and they want to like bring you down now. So that's my biggest thing is it's like, I don't know what's going to happen with me telling my story. Like if people that I did all this stuff from, like, I don't know if they're going to try and bring me down at this point, which I hope not, but I don't think they are, but you never know. So, yeah.
I mean, you just have to see.
Mm-hmm. And that's like the power of telling your story though. Like the vulnerability in it is just like, it is really hard because you don't know who's going to love you, who's going to hate you for it, who's going to try and bring you down. But it's like so powerful to just share your truth with people because they need to hear it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So would you say that you have like maybe, has there ever been like an inspirational quote or like a Bible verse or anything like that? Maybe it's a song even that has really like kind of defined your experience in your life and has really helped you in a time of need or no? Or maybe a
Not
book
really.
you've read
It's
or
just,
story you've heard, anything like that.
Just the only saying that I like that a lot of people know about is only God can judge me. You know, I got that on my body.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
He judges you for what you done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you pray about it, you know, and you repent, you
Yes.
know. He will forgive you,
Yes.
you know. But don't keep on doing the same thing.
Right.
And then you're not really meaning it. You're just trying to get out of it from here, you know.
Exactly.
No. So stop doing the same stuff,
Yep.
you know. Pray about it, repent, you know what I'm saying, and ask him for his forgiveness.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it should work out, you know.
Yeah.
I guess that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, rebuke Satan, you know. So
Yes. Yep. Don't let him tell you lies.
that's right.
Yes. That's I believed in way too many lies in my entire life.
He tried his best to
Yep.
bring me down since I've been out several times,
Yep.
you know.
And he'll keep trying, but God is more stronger and more real.
That's right.
That's awesome. So we're about wrapped up then. So, but seriously, thank you so much for coming on because especially like with your past, I think it is really hard to share that because you don't know if like even, I don't know, you don't know who's watching and you don't know if people could come and like try and do something to you or like try and put you back in prison even and stuff like that. So I'm really thankful that you were able to come on and share that. And to be so like open with me when I stepped into the car and you were just like telling me your entire life story, I was like, whoa, I don't even know this guy, but he's telling me literally his entire life. And I was like, this is freaking cool. And this is such a like, to me, it was such a God ordained thing where I was like, I have to tell this guy's story and he better want to.
Dang. Yeah,
So now I
maybe
really
if I get a
appreciate
book
it.
deal, you'll really see what all went down, and
Yeah.
you know. But I was just trying not to say too much.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah.
But no, I appreciate you sharing what all you've been through and how you've overcome it too. Because I think that's the biggest thing in life for me is like, I care so much about what people have overcome. And I think oftentimes we want to talk about it more like afterwards than we do when we're in the process of it. But you're still able to talk about like the day to day of how you like, you might be struggling a little bit right now and like either financially or emotionally even. And you're still like, but I'm going to still make it through because there is like a light at the end of this tunnel. So I'm thankful that you've shared this with me while you're still kind of in the midst of it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you all so much for listening to the Unlock Your Freedom podcast today with Domashaun Davis, aka 3D. If you want more life-giving conversations like what you heard today, you can click the big red subscribe button, or you can just click the link that's down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to chat with me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's The Rage Boss. Yeah, you're going to find some really weird, wild, but also some inspiring content on there. So come and follow me, chat with me. I can't wait to see you there. And we'll see you next time. Bye.